See this herringbone laminate click flooring? Today we're going to show you how to install it.
So your first step is obviously your underlay, and what you need to start thinking about is what subfloor you're going on. If you're going on a timber floor, you need to be laying something called a fibreboard. If you're laying on a concrete floor, you need to be laying something with a moisture barrier on the back. So if you guys have timber, mate, it will come on a roll and you'll roll it out and cut it out just like carpet underlay. If you have fibreboard, what we're going to do is we're going to lay all the full pieces out first without doing any cuts. And what we're going to do is we're going to make sure that when we do a new row that the joints are staggered. So when you're laying this stuff, there is a little bow in these things, so just make sure that the curve are facing down, otherwise they'll kink up when you're laying your flooring. And what we're going to do is we're going to get all the full boards down first before we do any of the cuts, and then we're going to show you how to cut them in. So now it's time, guys, to cut the little pieces that we've left till the end. So I've got a top tip for you guys. Instead of measuring it, all you need to do is lay the board over the top and just cut along this line here. And then that gives you the straight cuts. So you might think when you come to the last bit of your fibreboarding that it looks complicated because you've got the inny bits, outy bits, but I'm going to make it really simple for you guys at home just by laying out these boards and using the same methods as we use for the sides. We're just going to lay these boards on top. Right, so now you've laid your boards on top, instead of measuring it, we're just going to put our knife and just cut along our other boards. Simply lift your boards up, take these pieces out, and then these bits fit straight in. So what we've done is we've basically simplified it, so now we've got a square here and a square here. I'm going to show you how I tackle this. So I'd put it up to it, and then this is your guide to cut it down. So you want to do as straight as you can, and then all you need to do is slide that into the gap, and then you trace round just like we did the other ones. So you trace round, and then that gives you the shape without no awkward measuring.
So now Brad's finished the prep work, we can now start to look at our herringbone laminate flooring. So the first job is to get the centre of our room, or where you want the centre of your herringbone. So because of the layout of our garden room here, we want it in the centre of these doors. So all we're going to do is we're just going to measure off the two sides. If you want it in the centre of your room, you're just going to measure off of the two walls. Right, we're now going to do the same thing at the back of the room, and to get our centre, all we did was we measured the total width and we just divide that by 2. So in our packs, in this particular brand anyway, so this one is Chronotex for us, it's just one that we purchased. We are split with left and right side, so we're going to open this up and show you what we've got inside. Inside, these ones are just split left, right, left, right, left, right. Some are just stacked in half, some you have to buy 2 separate packs. But for this particular brand, so we've got 2 opposing sides. So as you can see, the clips are on the same side, but the big clip's at the top of that one and it's at the bottom of this one. So these are our lefts and our rights. So what I like to do, open up a pack at the very beginning, and we're going to split these into 2 piles. Now that they're in a left and right pile, we can start to build a triangle. That is the very first step to laying our herringbone flooring. So we're just going to start stacking these together so you can come up over the top and see exactly how we do this. So we're going to start with our left piece, and then we're going to grab a right, and basically what we want is these clips to match. So as we put our first ones together, you see we've got that big clip runs all the way through. You don't want it looking like that. So we're going to stack a few of these together, and you can copy exactly what I'm doing when you come to building yours. Making sure they're all nice and tight as we do it, because it's easy to run out of line. And once we've got to this stage, so we've got 3 on one side and we've got 2 on another, we need to then take 1 more, which will be that one, and where we've got the 2, we're going to just add 1 onto the side in line with the bottom. Now we can mark this ready for cutting. So where we want to be marking from is this extra one that we put on the very top. So we want to be marking from here to this point over on the left side here. So we just use a straight edge. We're going to go from that point to that point. Now we can mark that. Now we've got our mark that we need to cut along, things are going to change. So it all depends how you're going to be cutting this. If you're going to be cutting it with a jigsaw, I suggest you put some crosses on the bottom side, take it apart and cut through all of your individual marks. If you've got a track saw like we're going to be using, or a table saw, now we can get some masking tape and we can stick this together to stop it coming apart as we manoeuvre it around. And as you can see, because we've taped it, we can manoeuvre it back, and we're just going to be putting it on this sacrificial board so we can cut it with our track saw. So on our track saw or our plunge saw, I've just set the depth that I want to cut because I don't want to go all the way through this, don't want to damage the floor. We'll chuck on our dust extraction, good old Emery, and we'll get it cut. When you've cut these, do not throw any of these bits, keep hold of them because they might come in handy when we start moving around our room. So we can stack them to one side. And now that is our triangle. If you have cut these individually, now's the time to put them together and then masking tape them together so we can move them around the room. Now that I've shown you how to cut your triangles, you need to cut as many as you can fit on the wall that you're coming off. So for us, we're going to be able to get 3 in here before we have to cut one. So we're going to cut 3 for now, and I'll show you how we cut the sides in a moment. Now we've cut all of our triangles, I just need to quickly explain something with our centre mark that we've put. So the centre of our boards is not this point that everyone seems to think. It's actually halfway through these 2 balls. So I've pulled a line through here, and if we measure at 45 degrees, so you can use a little square like this, from that point to that line, we can offset our centre line by 46 millimetres, and we can run it into the point which you're going to see right now, and it'll be very clear then. Now that we've got that measurement, so for us it was 46 mil, you need to check your own herringbone because it depends on the thicknesses, etc. We've just offset, so that's the centre of our room. We've then marked offset at 46 millimetres, and we're going to do the same that end, and I'm going to pin a chalk line, pin a chalk line, and this is what we're left with. So that's our centre mark there, and this is the point of our little triangles. So it's going to be much easier to run it into this. So if you come down and have a look, you'll see exactly what you want to be left with. So there's our point, we run the chalk line for that, and there's our true centre, that's the actual centre of the room. It lands just in the centre of that board. So now we can start installing our full triangles, so as many as you've made. For us we've got 3 and we need to space them. So the specs for this particular flooring is 10 millimetres. So we've got 6 and a 4. We can just space that off. And this is our centre one, remember, that's not true centre, but the line that we've put in. And we're going to do that for all of our full triangles. Once you've got your full triangles into position, and we've put that point on that line, we can now look at the cuts. So we're going to build 2 more triangles, one for this side, one for that side. We're going to tape it together. Here's one I made earlier. And then we're going to be doing it via measurement, so we can measure and mark out any bits and any cuts we need to do while it's taped together. To get our little cut pieces of triangles, so we've made the triangles, here's one I made earlier. We're just going to be measuring, so making measurements. So we've got a little return here, so if we measure from this point, put some packers in, because remember we need to keep that 10mm space everywhere. So if we just measure from there to there, for us we've got 358, and then we can just transfer it, because you imagine when that goes in, that point is going over there. So if we just measure, so if you imagine, leave the triangle as it would go in. This is just so you can keep it clear in your head what's going on. So we're going to use a combination square and bring that up, because this represents this wall, and now all we've got to do is return it this way. So if we just measure how thick this is, like so. So we've got to come up 65mm. That doesn't mean anything to you, but just showing you. We can just use that and we can mark in 2 places. And we've not had to add the 10mm here. Reason being is because we're moving the whole thing back 10mm, so you gain it. So we can just measure this one. Now, last measurement we need is to measure from this wall back to here. So if we just measure from the packers to the packers, like so. We've got 320 millimeters, so we can just measure off of this 320, and then we use our square again, and that will be our square cut, which represents this wall. So we're just going to cut that all the way off. So I'm just using any sort of straight edge. I'm using a bit of scrap here, just to join these up. So now you can see what's happened. So this is all rubbish, and if you look at that pattern and how that's going to fit into our gap. So we'll get this cut and we'll show you it installed. Hopefully them little tips help you with that little awkward triangle. We're now going to do the same thing on the other side. And don't forget, all of the tools that we use in our videos will be linked in the description. Random, we was doing some work and someone that builds cabinets and built-in furniture, Derek, has took a wrong turn and he's ended up here. And you know what
looking for directions.
Yeah.
Hey!
And you know what happens when someone turns up, they have to do a bit of work. So we're going to show Derek, as well as you, how to lay herringbone flooring. So like we showed you earlier, I'm going to show Derek that in a pack we've got our left and right. So remember we did it earlier, we're going to do it again. So we're going to separate the two. So I'll just show Derek here, you've got this clips here, and then if you look on the next one, it's reversed. So we just stack them. So I'll let you stack them up with the left and the rights.
That makes sense.
Have you got a YouTube channel, Derek?
Yeah, it's Derek Barrett Design.
Tell them to subscribe.
Subscribe, like and share.
On a serious though, if you want to see some crispy high-end installations of fitted wardrobes and stuff like that, go and check out his Instagram, YouTube, because it is
Thank you.
lovely. So now we can start putting our left and rights in, which I have picked up the wrong one, like a silly sausage. And then basically all we're going to do is go left, 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 all the way along, do a cut if you need to, and then we'll go right, 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 all the way back. So the one we're going to be putting in is, you see we've got this join, we need to be covering that with our next bolt. So if we lock that in, as you can see, we're flush with that. If you need to twist anything, now's your time. So when you start, it's going to be a bit slower because we need to make sure it's all nice and square. So tilt it till these are nice and tight. So any little modification, if you need to tilt them, tip them, whatever. And then we're just going to work our way along. This one here. And there's no clip on the bottom. So we're going to put the long clip in. And then that small clip on the bottom just literally sits into position. And here we have a perfect example. So look, you can see it's not bad, but we've got this tiny little gap. You want to catch that now before we start laying too much in. So we've got ourselves a rubber mallet. And we just gently tap that. And as you can see, it's now closed in and we can carry on. When you come to the cut at the end, I'm going to teach Derek so that way, if he can do it, you can do it. What we need to do is find the piece that we need. So if you imagine that's our big clip, so it matches the big clip we're going to be going on to. We can then flip our board, which I'll give it to Derek.
Yep.
So if you flip that board and keep it up the right way, you can line this corner up. And then you can pencil that corner there. That gives us our longest length. And then if we flip that back the other way.
This way?
Yeah. And if you just face it in front of the wall and imagine what's going to happen, that is obviously going to come back with our wall. So if we just get a combination square, it's got that 45-degree shoulder, because this is a 45-degree herringbone. We can then sit that on there. Oh, well, I'm nicking his job. We'll give it back. So we could just go up to that mark. You could do it with a longer combination square, but we've got the teeniest, weeniest one in the world at the moment. And if we strike across, it's as simple as that. So now that's waste. So if we just cross that off, that piece there will then go into there. So we'll get that cut and see if he's done a bloody good job at it. So, a little tip for Derek and for you. So as you go to push this down, you see that's lifting?
Yep.
That's because this one's just a touch too far back. So if we get our weight onto the bit we've done to stop us from knocking it, and if we just tap that very lightly, it should just fall down. So if you've got any resistance, chances are something's misaligned slightly. Yeah, but what he's doing is now coming from the right side to the left. And this is what you'll be doing, or vice versa, just coming back and forward with the runs. So we've laid as much of it as we possibly can, and now we've got the cuts at the back wall. So to lay these in, all we need to do is, if you need to flip it and it's through here, we can just do that. But because ours is full, we need to just measure up slightly from this corner because it's a full board, and then we're going to do a 45-degree cut back, and that will fit in there. So everything's going to be cut at 45 degrees. That is a wrap. We're finished. It looks bloody lovely. Derek pretty much done everything, because you know what we like to do, fob the work off to someone else.
Watch it.
But yeah,
No,
Derek has been a massive help, and obviously.
Yeah, really enjoyed it.
Remember? Oh, just remember to like and subscribe.
Go check him out,
Yeah,
honestly,
thank
if you
you.
want to see some crispy stuff. He is your man.